seeing that Texas A&M, Texas Oklahoma rivalries firsthand. At what point did you realize, was it as a recruiter or player, what this rivalry means to the state?
Yeah, I think I definitely realized it just kind of, coming in the spring and, hearing about it and kind of people talking about it and everything that it was. And then kind of hearing about it throughout that summer. I remember going down to Columbia with Will Taylor one time and just kind of hearing more about it, but you don't really know it. And I don't really think that you can really know about it and experience it until you truly experience it, and we played them. And I think that once that happened, it really set in and what it really meant. And I became very aware of that real quick. So
that game 2 years ago here.
Yeah.
You didn't, obviously you're watching DJ, the offense is struggling at times. How frustrating was that? And then after that's over and you had to hear from fans on both sides.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was a lot of definitely mixed emotions. As a competitor, you're always wanting to play, and I was wanting to play, and it hadn't been my time yet, and that obviously came the next week. But I wanted to play, but that wasn't my decision. I had to be patient and wait through it, and I was okay with that, and I was content with that. But yeah, having to walk off that field and then march in our field definitely was not something that I enjoyed at all. So definitely something I still remember a lot, and but it's tough. It was a tough moment, and yeah.
I think we were talking to Phil yesterday, and he said of that game, just having the seniors walk off, and that was kind of the situation. I mean, how much was that part of it? Just that their careers kind of ended that way. I mean, how much do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. Obviously, it was a tough feeling for them, and not a feeling that I want to repeat at all. So, I remember Davis Allen and just guys in that room, J Mac, and guys on that offense that they had to leave their career like that, and I felt so bad for them. Yeah.
How much does it add? I mean, the fact that you guys beat them in Columbia, they beat you here, you beat them in Columbia, does that kind of add a different element kind of going into this game? Everybody's trying to defend their home field, but that really hasn't been the case the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's everybody. You want to defend your own place, and we're gonna have a good crowd on Saturday, and we want to represent the people that came before us and the people that are coming. So we'll be bringing it. So.
As Coach Sweeney has talked about, Lenore Sellers and you both being dual threat guys, and that you need guys like that in today's game. Have you watched Lenore at all? Have any kind of perspective on his game and kind of why running quarterbacks are kind of so important nowadays?
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot. He's a heck of a player, though. Being I think it's first-year starter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is his first year starting. I know that that's not an easy task, and he's obviously been killing it this year, and just the things that he's been able to do with his arm and his legs, it's definitely fun to watch. And what I've seen of him, I haven't sat down and just watched him because I don't really do that a whole lot of the team I'm going to play of their offense, but of what I heard, he's a heck of a player and can definitely use both at times very well. So
when you look at how dynamic their pass rush is, do you feel like your dual threat capabilities need to be on full display to kind of mitigate that somewhat, so that you're not just a sitting duck back there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'll be able to use what I have at times, and you can't just go into a game pressing to use that, though. You gotta use it when it happens and use it when you need it, and just see how the game plays out, and yeah.
What do you see out of their edge guys?
Yeah, they've got a great front four. 2 long ends, 2 disruptors up front in the tackles, and they're a heck of a team. They're a heck of a defense, and they've been very successful at what they've been doing, and that's definitely a fun challenge. So out of those front four, definitely just long, twitchy guys on the ends and disruptors in the middle, and physical, and When I see them play, I just see that those guys love to play football. They love to play the game, and they're not guys that are trying to go for 1 or 2 plays and get out of there. They're guys that are competitors and love to play the game and are good at it. So, that's you love to play teams like that for sure. Great defense.
Do you have it in the back of your mind? Like, the rankings came out last night. You're 12th. This is, there's bigger things at play besides the rivalry game. That, there's a chance to maybe get into a playoff.
Yeah, my eyes are set on Saturday, and going to play the best I can, and going to try to have the best Wednesday practice I can today, and go with the best I can today, and then go attack tomorrow, go attack Friday, and then go attack Saturday, and that's what my eyes are set on. So, yeah.
You have a feeling that that's the approach the whole team's taking right now? I mean, has it been easy to kind of keep all that noise?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think just, got to keep the main thing, the task at hand. You start looking ahead, and, I mean, that's how any playoff system is. That's how high school playoffs are. That's how Pop Warner playoffs are, the NFL playoffs are. You start looking ahead, bad things happen. You got to look at the task at hand and the game in front of you, because if you don't do that, then none of the stuff ahead really matters. So you got to look at the task at hand and the game in front of you, and right now that's the game that we have, and we're pouring all of our chips in on this week. So we're focused on the game we got.
How do you Thanksgiving? Does your family come down, or how do you actually?
Yeah. I got my parents and my siblings coming up, and we'll have practice on Thursday, and then I'll do a quick dinner with them on Thursday after, and then just kind of get back dialed in. So, yeah.
So when it comes to rivals, I don't know who Westlake's, but was it the Battle of the Lakes with Lake Travis?
Yeah.
So that's the big one, right?
Uh-huh.
So when you play in a rivalry game, everybody's like, the fans want to ask, are you fired up? Are you this? Are you that? But does that matter once the ball is snapped?
Yeah, I think that with rivalry games, but really any game, all the emotion of the game, it kind of goes out the window after the first play, because like you said, you got to just put the ball down and go play. So you can carry with emotion, but I think the thing that wins big games and big games down the road, championship games, rivalry games, whatever you want to call it, it's really just being poised in the moment, and being in the moment and being poised in those times, and being able to, it's the same size football field. It's the same 11 guys on that side, 11 guys on our side. There's no more less. Same size football, with the same amount of time. So, there's definitely an emotion to it, but it's a poise that you got to have at every moment. So, yeah.
I think Patrick Mahomes did an interview the other day where they were talking about where they were playing, and he said when you're in the zone, you just don't hear the crowd. He's like, I don't hear it. It goes quiet.
Yeah.
Do you get that way sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. Especially just like looking back on like louder games that we've played. It's like at times you hear it, but you're not like listening to it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of there. It's almost like white noise. You know what I mean? So you definitely just get in a zone, and I get in a zone, and then I think our offense just gets in a zone at times that we're just rolling. So I think that you kind of just mute it out. It's just kind of white noise at times, and you just go kind of play. So yeah, you got to find a way to just stay poised and have that low heart rate. Yeah.
Would Cade Klubnik 2 years ago have had that low heart rate?
I think so, but not as well as I have now, because that's something I've worked on a lot, and just that's the mental side of the game is something that I've definitely worked on a lot in terms of just being able to going in the 2-minute drive against Pitt. I felt like just chill. Like I felt like I was just relaxed, and that's just something that I've worked on a lot with sports psychology and a lot this offseason. That's kind of a whole nother discussion, but being able to just take a big moment and breathe through it and focus on the task at hand. What's actually my job? what do I actually need to do? And just being able to kind of silence everything out and just take a deep breath and go. So.
Is it just breathing, or are there other techniques they've given you that have
there's a couple things, definitely just breathing through it and just kind of taking a few moments. I mean, I just remember sitting on the bench before the 2-minute drive, just taking a few minutes, just closing my eyes and just kind of envisioning what I was in, just praying through it, and but just breathing through it and just getting to a calm state of mind. So I kind of always see the game the night before, and so.
Yeah. Talk about the dreaming, the beautiful dream.
Yeah.
You learned from your high school coach.
Yeah. I mean that, and also just kind of working on some sports psychology throughout the season and throughout the off season, and just being able to visualize and kind of see the game before it happens, and not only the good stuff. How are you going to respond when bad stuff happens too? When whatever happens, how are you going to respond versus blank, and being able to transform those emotions from crap to flush it, let's move on, so being able to do that is definitely something that I've worked on a lot, and so.
Will you actually envision like throwing a pick six accidentally to South Carolina? And how you would react?
No, I won't do that, but I'll I don't know. That's getting really specific. But just kind of just seeing just drives play out, getting the fluidity of a game. What's warm-ups going to feel like? There's kind of a whole sequence that I'll do kind of the night before games and stuff. And just trying to see the game flow out, how our warm-up's going to be like, going into the locker room, coming out of the locker room, warming up, just seeing myself right before we go on the field. Shoot, all right, we got a 3-minute TV break right before we take the field. What's going through my mind in those moments? How am I approaching this next drive? Think of the task at hand. What's my job? Just kind of that peace of mind that you have to have going into it, and not letting everything around you get on the field, but let you just be the main focus. So, yeah.
Is that working with Milt Louder?
A little bit with Milt and a little bit with another guy that I'll talk about another time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cade, as you've been speaking, you were named one of 16 semifinalists for the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, which goes to the top offensive player either in or from the state of Texas. I know you take a lot of pride in representing Texas here at Clemson. Is there also a pride that comes with kind of representing Clemson and that brand back to the people of Texas?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't just being here in the history of this school, I don't think there's been a whole lot of guys from Texas that have played here. So that's definitely a huge honor, and that's really cool. Just kind of growing up and watching those awards being given out. So definitely a huge honor, and it's definitely a pretty cool deal being able to come a long way, 17 hours away to Clemson, and never knew anybody here. Never even really been to South Carolina before I got here, and it's definitely a cool. That's definitely a cool thing right there. Yeah, it's awesome.
People are still asking about the cowboy hat and whether that's ever come back. Is that been retired for the season, or is it?
We'll see. I don't really figure it out on Thursday what I'm going to wear, so we'll see. I don't know. Let's see.
Any questions for Cade from Zoom?
Hey, Cade, this is Grayson Mann with TigerNet. You talked about sort of your state of mind and finding that sense of calm, but given the stakes of this rivalry weekend, is there a moment where you maybe look to the younger guys on this team who haven't experienced this yet and try to say, hey, I'm going to be this calm face? I guess what do you do in those moments and in this week to help prepare some of the guys who haven't experienced something like this before?
Yeah. I mean, whether you like it or not, when you hit certain moments in a game or in practice or whatever it is, everybody's looking to the leaders of the team. How are they reacting to certain things, and what's their body language like? How are they speaking? What's their energy like? So I want to be a guy that they can see and realize, man, he's just cool as a cucumber. He's just chill and he's ready to go play a game. And I want to step on the field on Saturday and go win. And but as a quarterback, you can't be a guy that's listening to death metal before a game like maybe a linebacker or nose tackle is going to be listened to like you're about to go run through a brick wall. I got to be a guy that's going to be focused and dialed in, and I think just receivers and stuff, and guys just being able to see me maybe, but also talk to them. Just, hey guys, like the things that are going to win this game. It's it's going to be a couple big plays, but it's going to be us going and doing what we do at a very high level, and functioning at a high level and doing 11 guys doing their job. And doing what we do at a high level and just taking care of the task at hand.
If you don't listen to death metal, what do you actually listen to?
I'll listen to just like some instrumental stuff on the field. Honestly, I don't listen to a ton of music on game day. The only time I really ever listen to music is on the bus ride over. I'll listen to just like some instrumental stuff, and then just once I get in the locker room, I don't listen to music until I really take the field and we do our individual warm up. Then I'll listen to just some instrumentals. Yeah.
Like classical.
I don't even know what you'd call it. I'll try to find it for you. Yeah.
Anybody else for Cade?
Not necessarily like 1800s classical music. That's not what I'm talking about. Just kind of soundtracks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like Gladiator or something. On Zimmer.
I don't know. I don't even know. It's mostly random stuff. Yeah.
Hey, this is Darren Carter from the Greenville News. Can you just talk about, I guess, the growth of freshman wide receivers Brian Wesco Jr. and TJ Moore from week 1 to entering the last week of the regular season?
What was the first part of your question?
I just introduced myself, and can you just talk about, I guess, Wesco's and TJ Moore's growth from week 1 to week 14 of the regular season?
Yeah. I mean, I've really been the same guys week in, week out. Just kind of hard workers that really want to grow. They ask me a lot of questions. They're always asking Coach Riley a lot of questions. Antonio and Adam asking them a lot of questions. Just guys that really want to grow. And I've just seen just another level of really confidence every time they take the field. I think whenever you're young, there's a little bit of a hesitance whenever you're stepping on the field for the first time. Just, hey, like, do I know what I'm doing or not? And these guys have just every week just gotten better and better and better. And it's super fun to watch them, just their confidence when they step on the field. It's like there's no fear. And I never saw that in the first place, but it's just on another level. It's really exciting to see and fun to step on the field with them with. And also being more vocal, for sure. Just vocal as leaders and, coming up to me, hey, bro, let's go. Seeing stuff they're seeing on the field, seeing things they might like and stuff like that. It's fun.
All right. Thank you, Cade.
Appreciate it.
Got Barrett